What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Kevin Checkwitz. This is the Kaged Review, and this is continue on with my series of Marvel movies. And this is like the old school Marvel movies that I'm trying to do reviews for because I never have before. And I'm almost done with them. I got this, like the Blade series, Howard the Duck. I mean, almost done. I think maybe 5 more movies. And I'll be catching up on all of the newest Marvel and DC movies. And so that's kind of exciting. You know, at least I'll have my whole library there. But this is the Hulk, and this is Ang Lee's Hulk from, I think it was 2003, somewhere in there. This was one of those movies that was really reviled. Like, this was a movie that people were just like, what the hell? And it's unfortunate because it's actually a really good story. And I think it's actually one of the best, if not the best stories for the Hulk character, Bruce Banner. You know, in this movie, you kind of get a lot more backstory to who Bruce Banner is. You get to see his early life, him growing up, his family, the trauma that he's had to go through, you know, the things that like he has to deal with to keep his anger at bay. And I think that that's really, really a cool element when you're talking about a guy who has to watch his anger or he turns into the Hulk, you know, the whole Jekyll and Hyde scenario. And so I really love that comparison. And if you don't understand the Jekyll and Hyde thing, Stan Lee in an interview was talking about creating the Hulk, how he wanted to create an actual Jekyll and Hyde type of character. Like he watched that movie, he liked it, he wanted something that where like, you know, the monster was the good guy, but he could still like be human and transition into this monster. And so it was kind of a combination of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and the Frankenstein story. And so the Hulk's what he came up with. And so when you're getting into that story and you're getting into those concepts, you know, this movie deals with family tragedy, and it deals with his father, who was kind of a horrible person. And I really loved how they made it personal. You know, it's a superhero movie, and you have this big scale, and you have, you know, the Hulk throwing tanks around and stuff like that. But he still brings it into this very personal space. And I actually love that. Here's where it kind of falls apart, though. The CGI, you know, even for its time, was bad. Nowadays, you look at it, it's almost cartoonish. It looks ridiculous. Another thing that Ang Lee did, and I think I get what he was trying to do, he wanted to make this movie have a comic book feel, you know, with the plates, and it just didn't work at all. There was a lot of shifting screens, and he tried to have like a storyboard type view, but it just didn't work. And there were some times where you got like the eyes of 2 people in different areas staring at each other at the same time, and so you could see both of them, and that was cool. But he did it too much, it was too forced, and it just took the movie apart in a lot of places. And even in the big action sequences, and that's one place like it really should not have been done, is in the big action sequences where you have like 3 split screens and you're trying to watch 3 different things happening at the same time. For a comic book, it works. For a movie, it does not. And I think that that was the lesson learned with the Hulk. So you have Ang Lee as a director. You have Eric Bana, who plays Bruce Banner, the Hulk. You have Jennifer Connelly, who plays Betty Ross, who is a colleague scientist and also daughter of Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, who was played by Sam Elliott in this movie. You have Nick Nolte, who plays Brian Banner, the father of Bruce Banner. And Josh Lucas, who plays Major Glenn Talbot, which is the main antagonist, really. Brian Banner could be argued there, too. And so you actually have a hell of a cast here, and a really good, well-written storyline. I think, as far as like getting into the psychology of Bruce Banner. You kind of know the story. He had an accident, too much gamma radiation. Boom, he becomes the Incredible Hulk. This movie shows his dad injecting himself with this serum and kind of experimenting on himself, and then he has Bruce Banner, and you see him injecting Bruce as an infant with whatever the serum is, and so that clearly helped create the Hulk. Um, and I think that that was the biggest part of this movie for me. Um, Two things. One was the relationship between Bruce and his father, and trying to deal with the tragedy of thinking for a long time that both his parents were dead, and then finding out what really happened, which his dad accidentally, but in a fit of rage, killed his mom, and so there's a lot of venom there. Obviously, a lot of anger. And again, you're talking about a man who now needs to control his anger, but you're getting why he can't. And I thought that that was very, very cool. Also, the love interest with him and Betty Ross. I thought Jennifer Connelly was actually a very good Betty Ross. I thought she was better than Liv Tyler. And I feel like Sam Elliott, Sam Elliott, what can you say? He's damn good. So you have all the great constructs here for a much more psychologically fulfilling, much more realized person in Bruce Banner. And I think Eric Bana did a great job. Eric Bana is a great actor, I think. So if it wasn't for everything that they did with the CGI and the split screens, I felt like this would have been a much better movie. But overall, I actually had a pretty good time with this. I'm not going to shit on it like a lot of people have. Um, I feel like a lot of people just tore this movie up, and I get why. I do. I understand it. It's hard to watch at times, but I wish that this story would have happened in the Incredible Hulk or even in the Avengers Hulk. Like we never really got that. So this was the movie that should have been made, just a little bit more coherently. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10 though, because I really did appreciate what they were trying to do. And so with that, I'm going to lead into the Blade series, and I have a lot of Phase 4 to catch up on, and then we're caught up with Marvel. So ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. My name is Kevin Jackowitz, Kaged Nation, out.